Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another update video where I will be spinning the wheel and then showing you my cross stitch progress. It is almost the end of April now, which means it is down to like the last little crunch time to try and meet my monthly goals. Every month I am trying to do a certain amount of stitches on the projects that I have picked so that I can meet a bigger yearly goal, and it's April 24th today, which means I have 6 more days left in April and I think I still have to meet like 4 or 5 of my goals. I'll insert my little template thing here so you can see where I'm at. So this last part of April is really just going to be me trying to finish the rest of my goals, which I think I can do. I did meet one of my goals last night, which I will show now. So yesterday I was stitching on the board game Stitch Along from Taylor and Cromwell. And I needed to do, I think, another 600 stitches on it to meet my goal of doing 1,000 stitches in a month. And I did that, kind of. So I am stitching on the black outlines here that are going to be the tiles for the pieces. And I say kind of because I have been only doing the bottom half of the stitches because I wanted to make sure that all these borders met before I went back and did the second half of the stitch, because it's easier to rip out half a stitch than to rip out a whole stitch. So now that I know that these borders have met, I can go back and fill in the black without having to look at the chart. And so I can do that over the next couple days, like in the morning while I'm like drinking coffee or something, and then I will have officially finished those stitches and then my goal will be met for this for the month. So I'm excited about that. This is being stitched on the called for fabric, which is called Board Games from Witch's Garden Crafts. And whenever I hold this piece up, for some reason it turns my face like orange. However, I don't know how cameras work. But yeah, so the blue always makes me go very orange. Then the other piece that I worked on yesterday was Autumn Harmony. I am trying to do about 200 stitches on her every day. And I did that yesterday, and here she is now. I am working on her right now doing one color, which is DMC 154. I will be working on that color for probably at least the next month because I think there's still like 6,000 stitches left to do in that color. And I think I was filling in, I think I did some over here and then brought the color over this way. The 154 kind of blends in with the 814 that I did last month. They are kind of very similar shades when they're next to each other. Like when they're separate, they look very different because one is clearly like a lighter red than the other. The other is a very darker kind of red leaning purple. But when they're next to each other, they don't look that different. So that is what I got done. And this is a Maxine Gad chart. It's being stitched on 18 count fabric, 2/1 full cross. And then now I will pick my project to work on today. I think there's only 4 projects left on the wheel, so I am excited. And 3 of them are full coverage, and then 1 of them is Tonight We Ride, because Tonight We Ride somehow did not get picked again yet. So let's see what it will be today. And we have Little Gamer, which is by Medusa Doll Maker. I pulled out all my charts, I think, next to me, so I can get that out. And this was a chart or a kit from Gecko Rouge. I used to be part of the Gecko Gold Club, which is why I do have so many Gecko Rouges, because the way the club works is you pay money monthly, and then at the end of like 6 months, or it might be a year now, I don't remember what it is, you would get a voucher that you could then spend on the website, plus you would get a discount on your purchases. So that is how I ended up getting so many Gecko Rouge kits, is because I was part of the club, and paying the money monthly makes it a little bit easier to buy the kits because they can be kind of expensive. So it just, obviously it's the same, like it's still your money, but when you're spending it a small amount monthly, it seems less bad than spending a larger chunk all at once for some reason. Here's my starting point. I had previously been working last month and this month on the keyboard, so I really would like to get the keyboard finished and then also do more of the Tetris blocks, because I think there is still another Tetris block down here, I think. So that's what I'll be working on this time. I don't remember how many stitches I have left to do, but I'll figure that out, and then I can put that on the screen how much is still left for me to do on this. And this is a 25 count 2/1 half cross, and I will be back tomorrow to show you my progress on this. Here is Little Gamer after 400 stitches. I think that's all that I did. I was focusing on this one Tetris block down in the corner, and then I got to a point where I just wanted to go back to knitting because I did start a sock, which I will show later. So I did 400 stitches and then I was like, I'm done. And so I still have to do 900 stitches to meet my goal, which I don't know if I'm going to meet the goal for this month because it's already the 25th. So there's only like 5 more days left in this month. And so we'll see what happens because I have other goals too that still aren't met. So I don't know how well this is going to go this month. And then on Autumn Harmony, I did 150 stitches because, as I said, I wanted to get to knitting, so I was just like rushing through my cross stitch. I was working on filling in some of the stitches in this section here that's by her face, and then I went over this way with the 154. And then today I'm going to have to move the hoop because I need to get down to this section, which I cannot reach because of the way that I folded the fabric up into the hoop. So I'm going to have to move her today and reveal a new area to work on, which I love moving the hoop. I love getting to see new sections and move around the chart and go to different areas, which is part of why I like stitching cross country. I just like going all over the place. It's you would think it would be boring because it's all one color, but because you're traveling all over the chart, for some reason it makes it interesting. And then the sock. So I did start my sock. I was very impatient. Once I decided I wanted to start it, I was like, I need to start it now so I don't back out. So I found yarn in my stash. I just dropped it. I have quite a bit of yarn that I bought during like 2020, 2021, I feel like. Going into 2022, I bought a lot of yarn, so I really don't need to buy more right now. I am trying to kind of work through my yarn stash, which I kind of wish that I had made yarn goals at the beginning of the year because I made all my cross stitch goals, but I didn't do anything for knitting. And so for knitting goals, it was just kind of just a few things I want to try. So I wanted to make socks. That was one of my little goals. And there was something else, and now I can't remember what it is. But there was a few other things that I wanted to make for knitting that I have had for years. Like there are charts that I bought back when I first started knitting, and I wasn't skilled enough to do them, so now I want to see if I can make them. And then I had purchased yarn for them. So I have, like I said, I have yarn that needs to be used because I would like to get to a point where I don't have a yarn stash. I would like to actually get to a point where when I find a chart, I can buy yarn just for that chart and not just be having a stash of yarn that I feel like I need to use. Because that's what I feel like it is kind of right now, is like I'll see a new pattern and then I'm like, I don't want to buy new yarn when I have all this yarn sitting here, so what yarn do I have that will work for it? And then you end up with an issue of you don't have enough of that yarn, or it's the wrong weight and stuff like that. So I would rather get to a point where I'm buying yarn for a specific project that I am starting then and not putting on a shelf and waiting. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm just trying to work through the yarn that I have right now. So I had this yarn, it's from a dyer who doesn't dye anymore. And that's the other thing, is you buy the yarn from people, and then if you don't have enough, a lot of the people that I was buying from back then don't dye anymore. So there was So Livy dyes yarn. This yarn is from Pearl Scout Yarns. I don't know if it focused. This is Pearl Scout Yarns. And then I also had yarn from Leon Alexander Yarns. And like I said, none of them dye anymore. So if you don't have enough, you can't even purchase more. So this is the color Sailor Venus, which I loved the name. I like Sailor Moon. And I had actually bought this for a sweater. And so I have a sweater's quantity of this yarn, and it was a colorwork sweater. So I have this color here, which was Sailor Venus. There was also a red, blue, and then a cream that came with it. So I have a lot of this yarn, but I don't think I want to make this sweater in these colors. I think I'm going to use different colors for the sweater if I ever make the sweater. And so yeah, that's one of the things, is you buy things back, a couple years ago, and then you get to a point where you're like, I don't know if I want to make it in those colors anymore, and then you have to use the yarn somehow. So I thought this would be fun though, because I really like variegated yarns, like when you're doing endless knitting, because I know that socks do have large portions where you're just doing knitting, just rows of knit. Variegated yarn is just fun because it's stripes, and so you get to see how it's going to show up when you start knitting with it. You never know how it's going to like pool or if it will stripe or anything like that. So I started my first sock. The pattern I'm using is from the Crazy Sock Lady. There are videos on YouTube, and there is a written pattern available on Ravelry. And I actually ended up purchasing the written pattern just because I like to read through things and not just watch a video. So I have the videos that I can watch that are on YouTube for free for anyone. And then I have the pattern that I can look and read the directions. And then the pattern is available to do magic loop with DPNs or with 9-inch circulars. I did not have the circular needles, and I did not have a large enough cable to do the magic loop. So I am using DPNs because it was just what I had, and I really wanted to start them right away. And so here is the start of my first sock. I have done the ribbing, and then now I am just knitting the leg part. And like I said, it's fun to see how the yarn is kind of striping, where like the blue and orange are together, and then the cream is making little stripes in between. So that is fun to see. And like I said, it's taking away from my cross stitch though, because I'm like, I really just want to get to like the intricate parts of the sock, because you do the leg and then you get to the part where you have to do like the heel, and that's when it kind of, I'm gonna need the videos once I get to that point. I will now spin the wheel, pick my project for today, and what will it be? We have the Haid Stitch Along, which I still have to do 1,600 stitches. And yeah, like I mentioned, I don't even know where I put it. It fell on the ground. Pause. There's only like 5 days left in the month. I know that I still have way too much to do, so I don't think I'm going to meet all the goals. I still have to do 900 stitches for Little Gamer. I'm supposed to be doing 1,600 stitches on this. I'm still supposed to be doing, I think, 500 or 600 stitches on Tonight We Ride, and then I still have not met my goal on Cozy Winter Book Nook. So it's going to be interesting these last couple days, just seeing how much I can end up getting done. But here's my start on the Haid Stitch Along. This is Merry Mushroom Village Picnic number 3. My goal on this now is just to finish 4 pages before the end of the year, and so I will be working in this section, just trying to fill in some more of these 4 pages that I am trying to get done. I will be back tomorrow with my progress on this. Here is Merry Mushroom Village Picnic after 650 stitches. I was mostly focusing on filling in this area with the grass here because this is page 1, and now that I know that I need to finish certain pages, I am trying to focus on like filling in page 1, and then I'll probably move over to page 2 and then just start working that way, which is a really weird way to work for me because normally in Pattern Keeper you can turn off the page lines. I normally just turn them off because I don't usually stitch by page, and so this is really weird to actually just be like looking at a page and focusing on filling in one page and not trying to go too far out of the lines. I don't know. It's a strange concept for me. And then I also did a tiny bit down here. When I first started stitching last night, I was like, maybe I'll try and finish some of the colors that don't have very many stitches. So I did this one blue color here because I think those are the only stitches of this blue that are going to be on this top portion. So I did that, and then I was like, this is gonna take forever to get my stitches done this month if I were to do the lowest amount of stitches. And I don't have the time when there's only a few days left of the month. So I went over here to this green section because one color could do quite a few stitches, so I was just working in that area instead and doing that. This is a 28 count 2/1 tent stitch, which is my preferred method. I also wanted to say, I was thinking yesterday is they are allowing people to do these with diamond painting, and I was almost thinking like I should have done this with diamond painting because it would have went faster and I could have finished this faster to get the reward charts, but it's too late now. I already started this, so I will not be going back. And then I did my 200 stitches on Autumn Harmony, and it's always so hard to see where 200 stitches goes, so we will see what you can see. But I had moved the hoop, so I was working on filling in some of the colors, I think by her hair. So in this section here of her hair. And like I said, you can't really tell. I will try and insert where it was before, somewhere over here. I need to make room for the before and after picture though, because that's the biggest problem, is that she is so big that she doesn't leave a lot of room for before and after pictures. And so I'll be working on her this weekend. I think I still need to do, how many stitches? I still need to do 730 stitches on her to meet my goal for this month. So I would really like to try and get that finished this weekend, and then the month technically ends on next Tuesday. So if I get her finished this weekend, then that means I will not have to work on her Monday or Tuesday, and that would give me more time to meet my goals on my other projects. So we'll see what ends up happening there. I'm definitely not skating this weekend. I am not risking an injury when I need my stitchy time. And then I will be picking 3 projects for this weekend, so I will do that right now. And then I was going to talk about WIPGO numbers and then possibly show my knitting real quick. I didn't do a ton of knitting, but I'll show it at the end after I spin the wheel. So we will pick 3 projects for the weekend. There are only 4 projects left on the wheel, so only one of them won't be picked. So the first project is Little Gamer. I will take that off the wheel so that it doesn't get picked again. And then the Haid Stitch Along again, which is good because I think I still have to do like 900 stitches on it, so hopefully I can get a good chunk of that done. And then the last one, is it going to be Tonight We Ride or will it be Cozy Winter Book Nook? Cozy Winter Book Nook. So Tonight We Ride is having a rough month this month. Last month, I think it was getting picked all the time, if I remember correctly, to where I was like, again? But yeah, now it's not getting picked. So I have 3 projects that I'll be working on. I will show real quickly where they are at. They have all been shown recently though, so I'm guessing people probably still remember. So here is Cozy Winter Book Nook. I am stitching from the top left corner on a 25 count 2 over 1/10 stitch. I think I might try working on the fireplace section again because I really like these green colors that were coming out. Those are very pretty. Whoa, I just knocked over my headphones. And then Little Gamer, which is by Gecko Rouge. The artwork is by Medusa Dollmaker. The kit that I have is Gecko Rouge and no longer available. And here is where I'm at on Little Gamer. And I really need to finish this keyboard because I have been saying that forever, so I just need to do it. And that is a 25 count 2 over 1/10 stitch 2. And then the other one was the Haid Stitch Along again. I'll be trying to finish off the grass, and then also there's some confetti stitches up here that I need to do still, so I should really try and get some of those done because I really want page 1 to just be finished so that I can at least be like, oh, 1 of 4 pages is finished. So that is what I'll be working on for my cross stitching this weekend. I will quickly show my knitting. I didn't knit very much last night because I was trying to get more of my stitching done so that I could meet my goals, which, like I said, I don't know how that's gonna happen. But here's my sock. I just did a few more rows of the knit stitch where you are just knitting the leg. I still have to do like a lot of rows, so that is what I'll be working on for my knitting this weekend. And I actually ordered, and it already came. So when I was looking at the patterns for the socks, like I said, there's different methods you can use for different needles. So I am doing DPNs, where you have a bunch of different needles, the stitches are spread over them. I'm explaining this for people who don't knit, because I know that there are a lot of people who do knit, but some people are here for cross stitch, so they might not know about knitting. DPN, so you can knit from both sides of the thing, and you have your stitches spread over the 4 needles, and then you knit the section with a different needle. So DPNs is what I'm doing right now. There's also Magic Loop, where you have it's a circular needle, so you have the needle, cable, and then you have the stitches split in half on the cable, and then the cable sticks out, so you can knit that way. I don't love Magic Loop. I tried it once for a sleeve, and it's just, I haven't practiced enough, so it felt very like weird and awkward. So I knew I didn't want to do Magic Loop, but you can also get really short circular needles, and so I ordered one, and it's so small. So this is a 9-inch cable, or 9-inch needles. Look at that, it's tiny. I saw this and I was like, how do you knit with this? It's so small. And when I saw it, my first thing that I thought of was from the classic movie Zoolander, where I was like, what are these, needles for ants? Because they are tiny. Like, my hand is like cramping just imagining that. But I do want to try using these eventually, just because DPNs are fine. But I also feel like I'm kind of slower when you have to adjust you're adjusting a lot more because you're sliding the stitches. I also worry about accidentally pulling a needle out and losing stitches that way. So I ordered those, they are here. I'm going to try and be a sock person now. I know that, I think it's Knitty Natty, because I have started trying to watch more knitting people, does sock week later in the year, I think. And so that is something that I want to be like paying attention to, is when she does sock week. So that is all my knitting and crafting that I have done. I was also going to talk about WIPGO though, because WIPGO numbers were called, I think on Wednesday. I think she did it early. And the numbers for next month, I was super excited about. I don't remember what the numbers were. I just remember that number 13 was picked. And number 13 is a spot that you can do whatever. So for some people, they might not have put a project there, but for me, I put a new start there, which means that next month in May, I get a new start, which I'm super excited about because obviously in May, a lot of people are starting charts, you know, for different things. Like if you're doing Mirabilia May, there's some people who are starting Mirabilias, and yeah, there's people starting charts. And now I get to start something, and so I need to spend this weekend looking over what charts I have and what fabrics I have to see what I want to do. I have quite a few things that I could start, but there are some that I'm waiting to start till later in the year, so I need to see kind of which are the things that I would want to be starting now. Because I have fall and Halloween charts that I could start, but I am saving those ones for like August, September, and October because I'm trying to like plan things out for the year. And then I think I might do a start around my birthday in the summer because I was watching X Stitch and Chill, I think is the channel name, and she did 24 hours of cross stitch over the weekend, last weekend, and she had a video where she like did a recap of how it went, and she also talked about the next 24 hours of cross stitch and mentioned that it is July 19th. July 19th is right after my birthday, so I think that I might do the next 24 hours of cross stitch and possibly have a new start that's like a kind of like late birthday start. So that's what I'm thinking about doing in July. It obviously depends on like what's going on because obviously that's farther away, so I don't know what exactly I'll be doing in the summer at that point, but that is something that I'm thinking about. So I need to go through and kind of see what my options are though for my WIPGO start. So one of the charts that I was thinking about starting is the Ineffable Husband, which is from the Etsy shop Two Legs Make One X. I purchased it at the beginning of the year, I think it was, and I think that might be something I start because I do have fabric that would work for it, and I love the chart, and I would like to start something that I have already purchased. I just know that I'm really excited though for next week. May 1st is on Wednesday, and that means I will get to add new things to my wheel. The other WIPGO projects, I don't remember the numbers that were called. I just remember that the projects that I will be stitching on for WIPGO is I'm going to have a new start. I'm going to be stitching on the chart Santa's on His Way from Charting Creations. And the other one was another Gecko Rouge kit, which is Fables. It's also artwork by Medusa Dollmaker. And I think you can find it on her new website. So I'm really excited for those to be put onto the wheel next week and get to have some new options to work on next month. That is all that I have for this video, so I will go and edit this so it can go up today. I hope you all have a good weekend or a good week whenever you are watching, and I will see you all in my next video next week where I will be showing you the progress on all of these things, and we'll talk about if I met my goals. Also, I just remembered too that I had said that for Mania at the beginning of May, I'm going to be working on the Witchy Stitcher chart, Festive Frosted Pumpkin Cottage, and I'm going to try and get it finished in the first week of May, so I could have a finish by my next video. That's a possibility. So I will see you all in my next video. Bye. I'm also gonna be putting on Taylor Swift while I edit because I am still obsessed with the new CD. And favorite songs. My favorite song changes probably every day. So like the first day that it came out, I really liked The Alchemy, which I know it's cheesy, it's a little corny, you know, like she talks about the clown thing, leave the clowns. I liked that one at first, the first day, and then I went another day where it was Down Bad, just on repeat, and then there was a different day where it was Guilty as Sin. That's great, it's a hit, and then, oh, what was the other one? There was another one, I can't think of the name, and that was like on repeat yesterday, and so I just keep changing the song that I listen to all the time, and then the song Fortnite is just, it's gonna be a summer classic hit. My issue with Fortnite is that anytime that I tell my device that plays music that is from Amazon, that I won't say the name because I don't want it to listen to me right now, anytime that I tell it to play Fortnite, it puts Fortnite on my TV, the game. No, we don't want Fortnite. Someone at Amazon needs to send Alexa an update telling her that Fortnite is the song of the season and we don't want the game. We want the song. Anyways, that is all. I will go back to editing.